Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets. Today we're diving into some pretty fascinating stuff. AI advancements, big tech shakeups, even a touch of space exploration and biotech.
Sounds like a pretty packed agenda.
It is. So buckle up.
It seems like every sector is just buzzing with innovation right now, and it's especially interesting how they're all weaving together.
Right. It's like watching a high-speed game of tech chess.
Yeah.
Speaking of chess, let's start with this AI arms race that seems to be taking over the headlines.
Okay.
Google versus OpenAI. It's getting intense.
Oh, it really is. You've got Google launching Gemini, OpenAI countering with an updated GPT-4o focused on creative writing. Then Google hits back with an even more powerful Gemini model, the XP1121.
It's hard to keep track.
It really is.
So how do we even measure who's winning this race? Are they literally making these AI compete?
Well, not exactly a head-to-head competition. But there are benchmarks. Some assess coding, others focus on complex questions. One that caught my eye, though, is the Minecraft benchmark.
Oh.
They're making AI play Minecraft.
Wait, seriously, Minecraft, as in building stuff with blocks. That's the test of super intelligence.
Well, it's more about problem solving within a set environment. You know, researchers give the AI a goal, like building a church using only in-game resources, and see how it performs.
Wow.
It's a fun way to assess their real-world capabilities.
Okay, I'm kind of picturing these AI models struggling to stack blocks.
Right.
But seriously, who's coming out on top in these tests?
Well, Google's Gemini XP1121 is doing well, especially in coding and visual tasks, but it's not a clean sweep. OpenAI's GPT-4o and Anthropic's Claude models are ahead on other benchmarks. It highlights how complex AI evaluation is.
So it's more like they each have their strengths.
Yeah.
But all this fancy AI, is it actually being used by businesses? Or is it just a tech flex?
No, it's definitely being used. We're seeing it integrated everywhere. Google's AI agent space, for instance, is like a marketplace for pre-built AI agents. Companies can basically plug and play these agents into their systems to automate tasks.
So no need to build your own AI from scratch anymore. Just grab one off the shelf.
Exactly. It's making AI way more accessible. Then you've got things like the Just Answer API,
Great.
which connects companies directly with human experts.
Okay.
For those tricky customer questions AI can't handle.
Hold on. Human experts. I thought this was the age of the robots.
Well, AI is great for initial info gathering, but sometimes you need that human touch, especially when accuracy and empathy are key. It's AI and human intelligence working together.
Kind of a dynamic duo situation.
Right.
Makes sense. But with all this AI power, are there any ethical red flags popping up?
Absolutely. You highlighted the case of ex-users uploading medical images to Grok, their AI chatbot, for diagnoses. That's a big concern. Grok isn't bound by the same healthcare privacy laws like IPA, so there are risks around data security and accuracy. You know, relying on an AI chatbot for medical advice could have serious consequences.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that AI is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
And like any tool, it can be misused. We need to be careful.
Exactly. And it's not just healthcare. Remember the SafeRent case you flagged? It was an AI tool for evaluating renters,
Right.
but it ended up being discriminatory.
Wow.
It shows how important it is to ensure that AI is trained on fair and unbiased data.
So we're walking a tightrope here. Amazing potential, but with real risks if we aren't careful.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, shifting gears a bit, you also wanted to explore big tech and all the antitrust heat they're facing. Google, in particular, is in the hot seat.
Yeah, the DOJ seems to be coming down hard on them. They're talking about forcing Google to sell its Chrome browser and potentially even break apart Android.
Wow.
That's a pretty big deal, right?
It's huge. Chrome is the most used web browser globally, and Android powers a massive chunk of smartphones. If the DOJ succeeds, it would be a seismic shift in the tech landscape.
It's hard to even imagine a world where Google isn't the default for everything online.
Right.
But why are they being targeted so aggressively?
Well, it boils down to concerns about Google's dominance, stifling competition. The DOJ wants to break up their monopoly and give other companies a fair shot. They're also worried about Google's partnership with Anthropic, an AI startup.
Okay, what's the issue with that? Is Google trying to hoard all the AI talent?
Well, the DOJ believes that Google's resources and influence could give Anthropic an unfair advantage. potentially squashing other AI startups before they even get off the ground.
So it's like a power struggle playing out on multiple fronts.
Yeah.
Browsers, operating systems, now AI. It's getting
No.
complicated.
It is. And this ties into Elon Musk's beef with OpenAI. Remember the lawsuit you shared?
Yeah.
He's now added Microsoft as a defendant, claiming they're unfairly influencing OpenAI and limiting competition.
Oh, yeah. Things are definitely heating up in the AI world. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom, right? There's some pretty cool stuff happening outside of the AI arena, too.
Absolutely. You pointed out SpaceX's successful deorbit test of Starship.
Yeah.
That giant rocket is paving the way for some exciting missions.
I mean, who doesn't love a good rocket launch?
Right.
What's next for Starship, though? What's all the hype about?
Well, think Starlink satellites for global internet coverage and in-space refueling experiments, crucial for longer missions to the moon and Mars. They're basically trying to make space travel more routine.
That's pretty mind-blowing. And speaking of pushing boundaries, you also shared news about Neuralink, Elon Musk's other venture. They're getting ready for human trials in Canada.
Yeah.
Neuralink, that's the brain implant company, right?
Mhm.
It all sounds very sci-fi.
It does, but it has the potential to be revolutionary, especially for people with limited mobility. The implant allows them to control devices with their thoughts. They're focusing on participants with spinal cord injuries or ALS for these initial trials.
So imagine controlling a computer or a prosthetic limb just by thinking. It's incredible.
It is. It's a glimpse into a future where technology integrates seamlessly with our bodies, blurring the lines between human and machine. But amidst all this innovation, I think it's crucial to consider the human side of things, too.
Right. Technology for technology's sake isn't enough. We need to think about how it impacts us, the good and the bad. Speaking of which, you shared a rather thought-provoking statistic from TLDR about ghost engineers. Apparently, a significant chunk of software engineers are doing virtually no work.
Yeah.
Ghost
Yeah.
engineers. Is that like digital slackers haunting the code base?
Not quite. It means they're on the payroll but producing very little.
Hmm.
It raises questions about the changing nature of work in the age of AI.
So are robots stealing our jobs already? Should we be worried?
It's more nuanced than that. While AI will undoubtedly automate some tasks, it also creates new opportunities. The key is to adapt and develop skills that complement AI rather than competing with it.
So like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, those things AI can't replicate yet.
Exactly. And this ties into the whole AGI discussion you flagged, artificial general intelligence. The transition to AGI could have a major impact on wages, potentially leading to both positive and negative outcomes.
Wait, so AI could give us a raise or leave us unemployed? How does that work?
Well, the analysis suggests wages could initially rise as AI increases productivity, but as AI becomes more capable, wages might decline if demand for human labor drops.
So it's a double-edged sword. AI could boost our careers or make them obsolete. It all depends on how we adapt.
Exactly. We need to keep learning and evolving to stay ahead of the curve.
Well, that's a lot to digest. It seems like this AI revolution is touching every aspect of our lives.
It is, and we're just at the beginning. But hey, at least it's never boring.
True that. Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have, from AI battles to big tech struggles, and even some glimpses into the future of space travel and human augmentation. It's been quite a ride.
And we're not done yet. There's more to explore, so stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve deeper into some of these fascinating topics.
Can't wait. See you in the next part. Picking up where we left off, while AI is stealing the show, there are still plenty of humans making waves in tech. Remember those ghost engineers we talked about?
Oh yeah, the folks seemingly getting paid for minimal output.
Right.
It's a weird phenomenon.
It is, but it also highlights the rising value of truly skilled engineers, those who are pushing boundaries and innovating. We're seeing a growing demand for what some call 5X engineers, those who are significantly more productive than average.
So it's like a tech survival of the fittest. Only the best coders survive.
You could say that. Interestingly, TLDR suggests these 5X engineers are more common in remote work settings.
Really? I would thought in-person collaboration would breed more productivity. Why would that be?
It's counterintuitive, but maybe remote work attracts a certain type of person, someone highly self-motivated and independent. Or perhaps the flexibility allows for deeper focus, leading to better output.
Maybe it's a bit of both. Makes you wonder how the future of work will shake out with all these factors in play.
It does. Speaking of shaking things up, what about Apple. They've been pretty quiet in this whole AI race compared to Google and OpenAI.
Yeah, it's like they're watching from the sidelines.
Yeah,
But you shared an article hinting that they're working on a smarter Siri, powered by large language models.
Yeah.
LLM Siri, they're calling it.
right.
Good.
Sounds like Siri is finally getting a much-needed brain boost. According to reports, it'll be able to handle ongoing conversations like ChatGPT, tackle more complex tasks, and potentially even integrate with other apps.
So Siri might actually become useful instead of just setting off random timers when I say, "Hey Siri." What's the timeline on this upgrade?
It seems they're aiming for spring 2026. So a bit of a wait.
Okay.
But it could be a game changer if they pull it off.
Fingers crossed. But shifting gears again, you included some interesting stuff about space exploration and biotech too. Tell me more about that SpaceX deorbit test. It looked pretty intense.
Oh, SpaceX is really pushing boundaries. The successful deorbit test of Starship is a major step towards their ambitious plans.
It's definitely a sight to behold, that massive rocket. So what's next on their agenda?
They're talking about deploying Starlink satellites for global internet access, which is pretty huge in itself. And then there's the whole in-space refueling experiments, which are key for those longer missions to the moon and Mars.
So they're not just launching stuff into space. They're figuring out how to keep it up there for the long haul. That's pretty forward thinking.
Definitely. And then on the biotech front, you shared news about Neuralink getting the green light for human trials in Canada.
Yeah, Neuralink. Brain implants, thought control devices. It's straight out of science fiction. What's the latest on that?
It is mind-blowing stuff. Neuralink's implant is designed to let people control devices with their minds, eliminating the need for physical movement. They're specifically looking for participants with limited hand mobility due to spinal cord injuries or ALS.
I can only imagine how life-changing that could be for those individuals. It really highlights the potential of technology to improve lives.
Absolutely. But it also raises all sorts of ethical questions and considerations that we need to grapple with as this technology advances.
Right, it's not all sunshine and roses.
Right.
But it's important to have those conversations and make sure we're using this technology responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. You know, looking back at all the topics we've covered today, it really hits home how rapidly technology is evolving.
It's like we're living through a tech revolution in real time. AI, big tech, space travel, it's all happening at warp speed.
And it's not just about the technology itself. It's about how it's changing us, how we work, how we communicate, how we think. It's a pretty exciting time to be alive, if you ask me.
I totally agree. But with all this change comes uncertainty, challenges, and even risks. It's important to stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about here on Byte-Sized Tech, breaking down complex topics, sparking interesting conversations, and hopefully inspiring our listeners to think critically about the role of technology in their lives.
Well said. Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this second part of our deep dive. We explored the human side of the AI revolution, delved into Apple's quiet moves in the AI space, and even ventured into the realms of space exploration and biotech.
It's been quite a journey. But we're not quite done yet. There's still more to uncover. So stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive where we'll wrap up our discussion and leave you with some food for thought.
Sounds good. See you in the next part. Welcome back to Byte-Sized Tech. We've been on quite a tech roller coaster ride, haven't we?
We have. From AI showdowns to the human side of the tech revolution, it's been a whirlwind tour.
It really makes you realize just how much technology is impacting every aspect of our lives.
It's impossible to ignore at this point, but I think it's important to remember that technology itself is neutral. It's a tool, and it's up to us to decide how we use it.
That's a great point. We have the power to shape this technological revolution, to guide it in a direction that benefits humanity as a whole.
Exactly. And that starts with staying informed, asking questions, and thinking critically about the implications of these advancements.
You mentioned earlier a new method using AI to uncover unexpected connections between different fields, like biology, music, and art. That really caught my attention.
Oh yes. That was a fascinating one. Imagine using AI to create a map of knowledge and then explore the hidden pathways between seemingly unrelated concepts.
It's like AI is helping us connect the dots in ways we never could have imagined on our own.
Precisely. It's a testament to the power of AI to not just automate tasks, but to actually expand our understanding of the world.
It makes you wonder what other surprising connections are out there just waiting to be discovered. Speaking of discoveries, is there anything else from your deep dive into the source material that stood out to you?
There was one article that didn't get as much attention as the AI headlines, but I think it's incredibly relevant to our discussion.
I'm all ears.
It's about the growing trend of citizen developers, people with little to no coding experience who are building their own apps and software using no-code or low-code platforms.
Wait, so you're telling me anyone can be a tech innovator now? You don't need a computer science degree to build the next big app.
That's the idea. These platforms are democratizing technology, making it accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
It's empowering individuals to solve problems, automate tasks, and even launch businesses without needing to write a single line of code.
That's pretty amazing. It kind of shifts the power dynamic, doesn't it? Technology is no longer exclusive to the tech giants and the coding elite.
Exactly. It's a grassroots movement, and it's fascinating to see how it's challenging traditional notions of who can be a tech person.
I wonder what kind of innovative solutions will emerge from this new wave of citizen developers. It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that technology is constantly evolving, and the future is full of surprises.
Well, I think we've reached the end of our deep dives, and what a journey it's been. We covered everything from AI arms races and big tech power struggles to the human impact of these advancements.
We explored the potential of AI to both augment and disrupt our lives, ventured into the realms of space exploration and brain-computer interfaces, and even considered the philosophical implications of this rapidly changing world.
It's a lot to process, but it's clear that technology is shaping our present and our future in profound ways.
And it's more important than ever to stay informed, stay curious, and engage in these conversations.
Absolutely. So to all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the ever-evolving world of tech.
We hope you've enjoyed the ride and maybe even learned a thing or two along the way.
Remember, technology is a tool, and it's up to us to decide how we use it to shape the world we want to live in.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.